Hi YouTube, we're back with another video. We will be discussing the future of the Plants vs Zombies franchise. I'm here with my best friend. Like what is it? 8 or 9 years already. Uh,
I believe so.
Brian, say hi, Brian.
I exist, and I play a lot of Plants vs Zombies stuff.
Yes. Um. So we've been playing Plants vs Zombies for like a long time now. I think even before since the fifth grade at the very least. Like, yeah, right, Brian.
Yes, I would say we are both well informed with Plants vs Zombies, considering that is how we basically became friends because we bonded over Plants vs Zombies.
You wanna how did you get into Plants vs Zombies? Do you remember, Brian?
Yeah, I just found the demo for it on the PlayStation Store on the PS3. I played it. I didn't know it was just a demo. I thought it was a full game. I played it. It was like the first three levels. I thought it was rad, and then or actually no, me and my brother both thought it was cool, so we just begged our mom to like please get like just buy us the game from GameStop, and she did. Yeah, it was really, very cool.
Nice. Well, I mean, I don't exactly remember how I got into Plants vs Zombies. I know
You
I
played it
saw
on DS.
what
You played it on DS, right?
I did play it on DS, but like when I discovered the game though, like uh I don't know how I discovered the game. I think because I used to have like an old crappy a crappy old computer like laptop, and I would like play whatever games I could find on there that were free because we were broke as well. And I think I just probably discovered like the free demo of PvZ or like some ad for PvZ somewhere, and then I clicked on it or something like that, and I just kind of discovered it, and then fell in love with it. I played the demo like tons of times on the laptop. Like I just wish I could get the full game, but I couldn't. But yeah, I love the game, and I've been playing it for years. I played I think almost every game. Have I? Yeah, no, I have. Yeah, except for PvZ Adventures because that like was really out for like a year.
Yeah, because that was for Facebook, and yeah, I didn't play that one either.
Oh, do you know they're making a mod for that? They made a mod for that actually. They brought it back technically.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Like it looks like 1-to-1. It's great. I kind of want to play it, but I don't know. But yeah. So that's we're experienced. We've seen all the ups and downs of the PvZ franchise, right?
Yep.
Um, Brian has a bit more expertise in some areas than I do. Because I didn't have like an actual console growing up, but he did. So he played some of the Garden Warfare games. Uh,
I would say I'm pretty well versed when it comes to Garden Warfare, considering I have like over 1,000 hours for every game besides like BFN.
yes.
I have like 500 hours on BFN though,
Oh,
so
that's not.
pretty close.
Well, okay. So yeah, and then so the purpose of today is we're going to talk about what we think the future of PvZ is going to be like, what we would like to see out of it, and what do we kind of expect in a way. We're going to be discussing this. I thought it'd be fun. I thought it'd be a fun idea. I had this idea to do this kind of video for like a couple weeks now actually, and I was gonna script it out and all that stuff and just have me like sit in front of a camera and talk about it, but I didn't feel like it was kind of right in a way just to be sitting there talking. Uh, to a camera. So I think I thought it would have been better to bring another PvZ veteran onto the conversation, and have like a constructive conversation about the franchise and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
Okay,
I agree.
we're gonna start. We're gonna start on Garden Warfare 3, or the next Plants vs Zombies shooter. So off the bat, I expect from I do hope that this kind of game comes out at some point in the future, right? I think BFN really fumbled the ball, right? I think we can both agree on that, right?
Oh, I've my opinion has changed on BFN. Like, sure, like I feel like if people like nowadays are a little harsh on it. Like, definitely it was like kind of the letdown from like a great game like Garden Warfare 2 to like BFN, but like yeah, there definitely was like a lot of stuff that could be improved. Mostly, the loss of character variants, which was like a big blow to like the game's reputation just because of that. But yeah,
Yeah. So let's talk about what we would. So let's discuss like how what we would want to see out of Garden Warfare 3. Like what would we want to see in this game? I personally would like to see at least like two more playing characters per like I mean two more characters like per side. I think that's like my bare minimum.
well, if they're gonna do it again, I just really hope they actually more focus on balancing because like balancing was kind of what like screwed over BFN because like there was quite a bit of balancing issues. I mean, I know the Garden Warfare franchise isn't exactly known for like having great balance. But like I would say Garden Warfare 2 was like kind of on point with that. Sure, there's some characters that are like still pretty damn broken detonation characters, but like BFN got like so much stuff like pretty like so a lot of stuff's broken like certain characters like that's also like legendary upgrades for characters like Brainy and Basher literally like is not balanced at all. Literally one shots basically every single plant character that's not Tron versus Tron. That's basically that's mostly what I want. Like I they could keep like the old art style from BFX. I've already gotten used to it. I prefer the one from GW 1 and 2, but like I don't care. I just want balance. That's all I care.
I mean, balance
And
is a big thing in terms of this series. I mean, the lack thereof when it comes to the series. Um,
yeah, well, yeah, yeah, I forgot to say also that variants. They should definitely bring that back because that's what gave Garden Warfare 1 and 2 so much replayability. Since there's basically uh hundreds of like over 100 characters you could play since like especially Garden Warfare 2 because in Garden Warfare 2 all the OG characters from the first game got like 10 variants each.
yeah.
Meanwhile, all the new characters got like six variants. So that's already so much replayability right there just to unlock all those characters and master all those characters to get max rank.
Do you think all the OG if there was gonna be a Garden Warfare 3, do you think all the OG characters, the the pea shooter to cactus characters, do you think they should have more skins or I mean more variants or like maybe like one more and then that's good enough and then bring back everything else?
No, I feel like they should. I feel like they should have more because, like, I mean, that's what they did with GW2 is that they gave the actually no, they only get like two new variants.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I think we could do that. Like, just bring back every other variant they have, and like, I guess you could add like two new ones for them. I think that's fine.
I think I would want at least like one legendary for like each character that doesn't have one already.
Oh, true, true.
I
Like,
feel
I feel like every character should have got like Garden Warfare 2. I feel like they should every character should have got like a party variant
yes. I mean
at least.
well having just only party theme legendaries might not be like the best way to go about it.
I know because like I know like they're basically reskins of like default characters, but of like the default characters, but like it's still something I guess. But
Well, I mean, yeah, the
like I
party.
know
Sorry,
I think there was supposed to be like a legendary P shooter like Disco P. I don't know.
there should have been a party P. Like I've had that plan idea. Actually, no. Remember, you know who gave me that plan idea, Brian?
No, who
John.
is
He
John?
yeah, John. Huh?
I don't remember who's John.
John, the
Oh wait,
guy.
no, John.
Yeah,
John. Sorry,
John.
not that bad. Go on.
Then that dude is I actually talked to that guy on Instagram for a little bit, and then I think he deleted his account at some point. But I
Oh,
had him
really?
on Instagram, so. But yeah, no, he like I asked him one day, like I was like, hey, what kind of plant would you like to play? He wasn't a PvZ player. But like, I mean, he wasn't like a big PvZ player. But like, I said, what kind of plant would you like to see? And he said like a party piece, something like that. So I was like, oh, cool. So I just had that idea like back in the back of my mind for like years now. Yeah, a party piece would be great for Garden Warfare. Like that's like the one party character I would like to see. But I think for everyone else, I think a unique themed legendary would be nice.
I mean, there's like so many there's so many mods in like Garden Warfare 2 with like good legendary concepts that could have been a thing, but aren't.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, some of the ones that they concepts they made are kind of busted, but like that's what balance is.
Remember, like, didn't I saw like one mod where you can like make like you were able to play like as a pick or something,
That was probably BFN because that was one of the
or maybe. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So yeah, more characters. Um, I know you talked about wanting a competitive mode in a Garden Warfare, or like,
to be fair, we did technically get that in BFM, but they fumbled the ball for God knows what reason. They got rid of it because it
well,
was like it was like actual competitive for like battle arena. Like you can actually get a rank, and depending on what rank you are, you'll get like
oh yeah,
rainbow stars and like a bunch of gold. I don't. It only lasted like maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a month. I don't know, probably a couple of weeks, and they got rid of it. I don't know why.
was I there for that? Like, was I actively playing the game during that time or no?
I think so because I don't think you played it very much. So I would say maybe, but I
I
don't think so.
I
I
didn't
think I got rid of
I didn't play BFN for long. I know that.
yeah.
But okay. I think a competitive system would be nice. it'd be interesting on how it would go though. You know what I mean? Remember the one competitive thing, the like tournament they did for Garden Warfare,
Mhm.
where it's like a group of four and like you all fight or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be interesting if they brought that back. They brought that back.
Yeah, I mean, I would take any form of competitive, especially like years ago, like when I was actually like a god at Garden Warfare 2. Now I'm just like mediocre at it, but yeah.
Bruh.
I,
How would that even like play out in terms of like a competitive mode? Like, because it's like already chaotic as it is. I mean, it'll just would it be just like the same game modes and stuff like that? People would just like know it's competitive or something.
well, I feel like if it was competitive, it would only be like default characters, like no
Ooh,
variant.
only default
Because variants,
characters?
well, yeah, because like then it would like maybe only defaults and no upgrades. Like that would make it more fair too, I guess. So it's just literally just base character.
I mean, I could see that happening. I mean, so yeah, more characters, proper competitive. Um, yeah. What about would you like to see a return of the backyard battleground or something like that? The lobby.
I would greatly prefer that because per I like probably a lot of people that I assume would agree with this. I really don't care for Giddy Park in BFN.
Oh yeah, huh?
Pretty lame considering most of the time you just get spawn camped on your side of the map, which is
It's
like not very fun.
it's much smaller than the battleground in Garden Warfare for sure,
It
right?
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, also like I said, it's so easy to get spawn camped in that. Granted, if you're good, you can get I guess get a good clip off of that because like typically people who spawn camp aren't very good unless they're like occasionally sometimes they might be, but like most of the time like I see people who spawn camp they're not good, so you could probably just get a good clip off of them killing them. Which I've definitely seen a couple clips of that. Which so yeah, but yeah, I don't care for Katie Park. Pretty big step down from the backyard battleground.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about the online aspect of the lobby. I think I do kind of prefer the. I mean, it was kind of lonely in the backyard battleground, in Garden Warfare. Like it's just
That is
you.
true. That is true, but like the thing I liked about that is like it was more like private, so like you could just invite your like three of your friends. You could just chill, hang out in the backyard before you like decide to do something. I guess.
Are you able to make a private lobby in the Giddy Park?
Technically, yeah, but like there's not really much to do in Giddy Park. Like it's literally just like the amusement park stuff, and that's it. They don't really do anything. Like at least in Giddy Park, if or not Giddy Park, in the backyard, you could do the flag of power. You could like just mess around. Uh,
Yeah.
like like typically when I played with my friends, I would just like we would just go down to where the shooting range is, and we would just like try to screw each other. Like we would just like kind of try to like run away from each other. Like one person's chomper and like run away. I
Yeah.
prefer that.
Yeah. BFN doesn't really have that kind of hang out aspect. You know what I mean?
Not really. I mean, I guess you could hang out in like the story mode areas, but like, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I will say that was a good thing. I kind of like the story mode things for like the characters, considering that like there was a story mode in Garden Warfare 2, but it like not really.
Oh, sorry. I was
There's like,
yawning.
oh, you're good. Actually, I will say a good point. Like, what would you rather? Because this is something that people have been debating. If we do get another shooter from the franchise, like, is it going to be Garden Warfare 3 or BFN?
Eh,
Personally, I prefer Garden Warfare 3 because like I prefer that style, but like I wouldn't mind a BFN 2 because honestly, like I just want another shooter from the franchise because it's so fun.
I think I think it doesn't matter what like style we get as long as they do it right. You know what I mean? Like if they did BFN two, but it's like brought back variants, brought back all these things, or like made variants possible, right? What if they did like the character upgrades, but like they had like a fire aspect or something like that. You know what I mean? Like like a Minecraft enchantment, like like you would have like a fire upgrade and like it turns your pea shooter into like a red pea shooter or something like that. You know what I mean? I think that would be at least fine if they did that, but like they barely did that
That,
in the first game.
but that does give me a concept that they could do for like they could add like an ultimate system like for like Overwatch. Like for plants, it could be like plant food, and then for zombies, it could be like maybe like brains or something like that.
Brain food. Oh, that'd be funny.
It could be like brains, and then like for like plants, it's plant food, and they get like an ultimate. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. Like I don't know, pea shooter, his could be like I don't know,
What would Peach's
uh,
ultimate be?
maybe like I don't know what would his be. Like maybe he's like a
Gatling P.
I was gonna say like maybe like he's like a mobile Gatling P or like his P's become ignited. I don't know,
That'd
something
be
like that.
that'd be pretty cool. Wait, let's try to go through some of the ultimates, see what they would be.
Sunflower. What would a good support ability be for her?
Maybe like I think
Uh,
I'm thinking like Lucio like healing kind of thing, where it's such like a AoE effect of healing. Maybe
it could work. That could maybe work.
she's also like the
What
only
Trump?
healer on the plant side, so
Technically, yeah, she is. It's just her and Rose, even though Rose isn't really support. But yeah,
yeah. And then for Chomper, hmm,
I don't know. That's not much. There's not much to work with there.
he has extra
Uh,
range in his chomps. He can bite. He can swallow anyone from any angle.
I don't
That'd be
know.
broken.
I already don't like Chopper, so like I don't think that'd be very fun to fight against. I don't know. Maybe he fires like a giant like it could be like a giant like AOE. Like he fires like a giant like goop, like attack, and like enemies caught in it are like severely like their speed is like severely cut in half,
Ooh,
and like so
like a goop
like they
trap.
could be yeah it could be the enemies who are also goop take like bonus damage to like to bites from Chopper, I guess.
That'd be interesting. That'd be cool. I like that idea. The cactus.
That's also hard. I don't know what you can give an ultimate ability
She could
to a
just
sniper.
fly. She goes into creative mode and C poses in the air. Uh, I think that'd be cool.
Mm. Oh, actually, maybe you could limit like it's just like an actual like oh oh wait, like I get it. You know in Garden Warfare 2, there's a mission for Kernel Corn. Like there's like those uh you know the cob cannons like in that game they're kind of like planes like in
Yeah.
that. It could be that like she could summon that like for like it's like an airstrike and she could like mark different points on that because that's the thing in like BO2 or Black Ops you could do. You pull like, you could just like it gives you like a UI and then you mark points on
Oh,
be like corn strikes like giant corn strikes
that'll
like
be
that.
cool. Orange strike. Would that be more suitable for Corn?
It could work either way because like her garlic drone fires like corn strikes, so it could work either way, either or.
Hmm. Okay. Interesting. Well, we could show that maybe, and then so for Rose, then what would she do?
Uh, that is a
Tentacle.
good question.
She tentacles everyone in her radius. I don't know.
I'm not sure about her because her whole I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
ultimates are kind of tricky. I think, but I think there's a reason why they didn't put them in the game if they're this hard to come up with. I mean, I guess
I'm sure I'm sure if you think about it after a while, you could probably come up with something like for her. I'm thinking like something would go to five, but I don't know.
maybe. Make what if the ability in in BFN like her go ability in BFN that's how it is like but better like the ultimate would be that but better.
That's what I was kind of thinking. That's what I was kind of thinking for that. Like, and it's because BFN like it's like you only get transformed into a goat if you're like in the way of like the because you know how it works, right? Like you just like spawns the giant goat, and if like you get in the giant goat's way, you get turned into a goat.
Yeah,
I feel like for that, maybe it could be like a little more instant, like because like it could work the same way where like you could send the giant goat through walls,
yeah.
kind of like Hanzo Ultimate, like in Overwatch, like how it can go through like it goes through like the map,
I thought
like
it
it could.
didn't it already do that or no? No, it
Yeah,
just
no, yeah, it goes through the wall.
but does it not go through the does it not go through walls already or does it
Wait, are you talking about Hanzo or like Rose?
the rows?
No, I did that. Like, I'm
Oh,
saying I could just do that. Like it'll act the same way. I guess like could be her ultimate. I'm not sure.
okay, that'd be cool. Then for Citron, he's already technically missing like a third ability other than like the ball roll.
mm,
Citron, he kills the nearest zombie by
mm,
a gun. Oh wait, no, he becomes like his laser becomes like super powered. That'd be cool. I think, man.
I guess I mean that's his ability. One of his abilities in PFN. It's like he fires a laser. Like it starts off weak when he fires, but like the longer it keeps firing, the stronger it gets.
Okay. What if he gets? two lasers. Like a second gun shows up on the other side of him.
For I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah, it's difficult, but I mean, yeah, I think just Garden Warfare 3 in general would be ideal. I do think we would want a Garden Warfare 3.
I prefer Garden Warfare 3 over BFN2. I would take a BFN2, but like I prefer.
I mean, I think a BFN2 would be so disappointing though.
I mean, I would take it because like honestly, like I would still enjoy it. Like I just want something to do from the, like a new shooter from the Plants vs Zombies like franchise. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like I did like BFN. Like I had so much fun playing BFN. Like the like first couple of days it came out. Like or first couple of weeks it came out. Like I enjoyed the hell out of it, and then after like I kind of it got a little stale.
yeah, I think so. I mean, like
'Cause,
in a BFN2, like what more do you do except bring back variants? You know what I mean? But it's like okay, new maps, but like all the characters are the same. Maybe like a couple extra like upgrades or something. It's like what more do you do except bringing back variants? I think that's where the only place where BFN can go. And if they do that, like then what's the point of doing BFN in the first place if you're gonna bring back variants? You know?
yeah, well, like to their credit, like it wasn't a bad idea to like get rid of variants, but instead to try to get like add replayability or stuff like that. Is like add like the deck system where you could add up uh like add certain upgrades to like change how your like character plays. It wasn't a bad idea, but like it wasn't very like they should have made more upgrades like so it could be more variety. Because like honestly, most people are gonna run like almost everyone he fights gonna be running like the exact same decks. Because like there's obvious ones that are like there's obvious abilities and decks that are like way better than like certain ones. So like it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
I'm piecing it together. I think that they got rid of variants because they thought the upgrade system would be like the spiritual. I mean, it is like its own like I'm guessing like their thought process was like, oh, instead of only giving these players these limited options, let's give them the option to create their own characters based on these upgrades. But like again, like the upgrades, yeah, like what you said, like they're not like that good. Like they weren't game changing or like how you change like the way you play the character. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but well, because it obviously was supposed to be like replacing variants. I mean, fuck, literally some of the variants are literally or some of like the upgrades you could use in your deck or like literally like variants from like Garden Warfare 2. Like for Chomper, one of them's like I think one of them is called Vampiric Chomp, like where you literally just like if you swallow a zombie or if you swallow a zombie and like actually eat like finish like chewing it, then like you just get health back, which is literally Count Chompula. That's also another one for Chomper Hot Rod that or something like that. It's literally just like same thing. If you eat a zombie, you get 3 boosts. Hot Rod Chomper.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think because they didn't add more like of those kind of things and like put an emphasis on like, hey, the variants are not gone; they're just in these upgrade things. I feel like if they just made it more clear, people would have cared a bit more, like been happier. But because they didn't make that clear enough, they just like showed us, hey, look at these upgrades. Yeah,
I mean, I will say like it was bold of them to do that because obviously like getting rid of it, like a big thing, but like they didn't do enough to like we said, they didn't do enough to justify getting rid of variants. So, since like there's like I said, like almost everyone would run the exact same upgrades for certain characters, like because like there's ones that are obviously just like the best. Unless you're
yeah,
Chad and actually switch it up and like don't use the same ones everyone else uses. If you do that, then you're a cool person.
yeah. I don't know. It's kind of it's just whack. It's just sad how it went. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, like I said, I've personally like my opinion has changed on BFN. Like I think it's not as bad, but like because I personally I kind of switched up on Garden Warfare 2 actually. Like I don't really like Garden Warfare 2 anymore. Well, but that's for another reason though. It's not like for like that game not being like fun. Like I do like the game, but like its current state is just like unplayable because whenever I play, it's constant lag. Like the servers are atrocious. That game is literally only filled with tryhards now. Like I'm just trying to chill and enjoy my game, but it's hard to do that when like there's like actual tryhards who like just play the cheapest characters who because it's just servers filled with max ranks who just play detonation characters like electric P, and it's just like not fun.
When's the last time you played?
But I don't even know. I don't know. Maybe like last year. I don't think I played it this year
I
at
mean,
all. I'd be surprised.
oh, when I got max rank in Garden Warfare a few weeks ago. Like it was like a couple max ranks, and then like everyone was like new. Like most of the people
See
like
that
in the game were like new players.
see that's my ideal lobby. I just wanted like shit like Captain Deadbeard, camp in the back of the map and just get free kills. That's my ideal map.
I think I was just technically smurfing there because I had to play a cactus as a cactus, like as my one of my last characters, and start sniping like the noobs. Like I was getting people like midair, like no scoping. It was so hype. I was on a roll at some point. But yeah,
Uh,
there's like a lot of like people that just like only play toxic brains. Like you're gonna see like at least one of those every game, which is kind of annoying.
yeah, I mean that's the same thing with BFM. Like, well, if like you see a talk, I mean most people play like Super Brains in general on BFM and they just run Brainy Ambassador just to get free kills, which is like really annoying. But oh well.
Yeah, but okay. Well, let's. I think that was a good conversation on Garden Warfare 3. Oh, when would you hope? Eh. Do you think? Okay. Do you think Garden Warfare 3 should release um before Plants vs Zombies 3 or after Plants vs Zombies 3? And I say
I mean,
like
I would hope.
PvZ 3 as in not in the state that it is in now. I mean like if PvZ were to release were PvZ 3 were to release, would you want God Warfare 3 before that or after that?
I mean, I would prefer it like before, but like it would come after if that's the case. I mean, personally, I don't think Garden Warfare 3 is gonna happen, but like I can hope. I would and like, but like yeah, theoretically, if we like if it were gonna come out, then I would prefer it before. But like it would probably come after.
Oh yeah, maybe. I do think he'll most likely come out after. I mean, even if PvZ 3 even comes out, but we're gonna move on to PvZ Heroes 2, and I have more expertise in this area than Brian does.
I
But
didn't really play it. I didn't really play that game that much, so
in the time that you did play it, how did you like it?
I mean, it was fun. I just like I stopped playing it because like I'm not very big brain. My brain, I got poo brain, so like I couldn't really use like fucking use big brain strats. I would just like put cards down and like stuff would happen and that's it.
I think uh progression in that game is very much a factor when it comes to being able to do big brain plays, because like I've been playing that game like since nearly since the launch, and I still don't have every card. Like it's kind of crazy how you can play that long and still not have everything when you're actually trying your best. You know what I mean? Um, for me,
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
the game is great. It's a free game, which is neato. It feels kind of pay to win. I mean, it is actually pay to win because you pay money to get
that
more cards.
that's why like that's the only thing I like. I know for sure about is that yes, that game is pay to win. 'Cause if you were to play now compared to when it starts, you would have like you would be at a considerable disadvantage because like that game is so freaking pay to win. But yeah,
Yeah, but that's like really like the one downside. I mean, no, maybe there's more downsides actually. So, but I do see potential and I see hope. I have a vision for if PvZ Heroes were to get a sequel, what would it look like? Well, I have a vision, right? I'm gonna tell you my vision right now, Brian. Okay.
I heard it.
So think the original PvZ 3 beta. Remember that the it was portrait 3D. Remember that?
Yeah,
Well, think that, but it's now not PvZ 3. It's PvZ Heroes 2, and you have your hero on the bottom, and the other hero on the top, right? Same kind of format, but the lawn itself, not the way that it was in PvZ 3. It's the PvZ 2 lawn. I mean the PvZ Heroes lawn, but it's it's like now in the style of the PvZ 3 beta. You get what I'm saying?
yeah, a little
So
bit.
so yeah, so basically the first change that I would make is like 3D with that art style. I think it'll have a decent art style. It'd be kind of unique. I think if they adjusted it a little bit to be like less dull, because it was really dull in the beta. It was just kind of grimy, kind of gloomy in a sense. It wasn't very like bright or like like if you compare that
Oh,
game to Heroes, like it's very like not. It's very the tones are drastically different.
but also, a quick question. Is the UZ3 what we're going to talk about afterwards? After
Yes,
this?
yes.
Oh, okay, good. We have a
Don't
lot to say about.
don't worry. But yeah, So yeah, so think what I just said right now, like the 3D art style. Um, but I don't think it'll play the same as PvZ Heroes. I think rather um remember the viewers are not gonna get this, but we'll explain in a second. Remember the board game that I played, Brian, that I made, Brian.
Yeah.
It'll play kind of like that. Think the zombies are the ones
Mm,
that can only move forward, and the plants stay still, but they shoot, right? Now that's really similar to the actual gameplay of PvZ, but now this is just multiplayer. I imagine it to be a much more similar to the original PvZ1 multiplayer. You see what I'm getting to?
mm,
So like each turn like a zombie would move forward a square, and then like a pea shooter would shoot, and then like if the zombie survives long enough to get to the pea shooter, like it'll chomp it and do that. And I think zombies will be focused on swarm a little bit, and plants will be more focused on like buffing themselves generally, right?
okay, okay.
I think that would be pretty interesting, right? Like if it has like the same general feel as the PvZ1 multiplayer, which I love the PvZ1 multiplayer. Like I wish I had more access to that when I was younger, because it was so much fun.
Wait, isn't the only time you played that was like when you came over to my house because you played on the PS3?
Well, the only time I played, I mean, I had the DS version. The DS version had multiplayer as well.
Oh,
Yeah, and I love playing multiplayer, but like not everyone had that. So I mean, well, actually no, for the DS you can like do like the share play. You know what I mean?
what? How?
You wait,
I
did you
wouldn't know because like I didn't play DS too much. Like so I'm
wait? Did
not
you
too
have
sure.
one or no?
My brother had one, and I like would occasionally play it until
Oh, so a function that the DS had was if one player had a game, say in say PvZ1, and I mean PvZ, yeah, if one player had PvZ on the DS, and because PvZ came with the multiplayer, um, the DS had a functionality where you like it'll like search for games around like the area. Like if you and your friend had like a DS, right, and he activated like the search for games option, like, and I would activate my game, my PvZ game on on my DS. I would activate it to like say, oh, look for other player. The other DS would like recognize like the signal, and like connects to the thing, and would see like the information for the PvZ game. You see what I'm getting at?
yeah.
So they would be able to play multiplayer on their DS, like with me, like it's connected. It's local play.
All right.
Yeah, and so I could do that with other people like who don't have PvZ on their DSs, but not many people wanted to play, you know, uh, PvZ. I mean, I only had my sister and like my cousins who had the DSs, right? I didn't have there wasn't many people at school who had DSs, right? Um, but yeah, I think it'd be really cool, a bit more interactive and not just like zombie hit plant hit back. You know what I mean? It'll be like,
Mm,
oh, zombie pushes forward on the lawn, and once it gets to the house, oh no, lose 2 damage, stuff like that.
I think that would make things a little more interesting.
Yeah, because the PvZ1 multiplayer was already also like pretty intense, right? You had zombies coming out, you had to like produce energy and stuff like that, so it was pretty nice. You know what I thought? If this is different, this is different from PvZ Heroes. Is there anything else we want to add to PvZ Heroes?
I mean, I personally can't say because, like I said, I don't know too much about that game. So
Oh,
that would,
well, let me ask. What would make you more interested in the game? If you could add anything like to make you more interested, or like what would you want to see in terms of like how what would get you to play?
uh, be a little more like free to play friendly, I guess, because like that's all I can really think about. Because like just be like a little more friendly towards like new players, I guess, like
That is
or just like
valid.
or just free to play. I don't know. I know it kind of like it's like technically a gotcha in a way sense, but not really. But like I don't know. But you got to make money somehow from like all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. That's about it. Just like hard like that. Maybe new characters. I don't know. Add some new like class types.
I mean, adding a new class type would be actually like a lot of work because you got to add all those new all those new minions, right? As well as every combination that goes with the new class type. So it's not just say the new class type is farty, right? You got to go farty, smarty, and then farty as well as mega grow, farty as well as um kabloomy. So it's like five new or six new heroes right off the bat. I mean, they don't have to. They didn't do that with the two heroes that they did release. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But eh, I could see it. I could see
Well,
it. Hmm?
I was saying, it is kind of a shame though that like they only added two new characters, like new heroes, and that was it. This huge,
Yeah,
gigantic, like beta care team that now.
it was kind of lame, but what can you do?
I think because like that's at that point, like I don't know. I think maybe at that point they just gave up on the game. I don't know.
I think they did give up the game because I mean, obviously, if they didn't give up on the game, like we wouldn't be starving for content. You know what I mean? But yeah. But I think that's pretty much all I can say. I feel like if they were to go with my idea, which is make it 3D and then do it more focused on like the PvZ1 multiplayer style, um, it'd be much more difficult to code that many 3D models. I mean, most of the zombies are literally the exact same zombie with like a different set of hair. So I think maybe they had something potential, right? Well, a lot of the plants are different though. There's a lot of different plants out there. Maybe. I'm just saying, it'd be nice. Let me
And
let me.
honestly, I would take any form of PvZ content that isn't PvZ 3.
Well, speaking of the PvC3, let's
Oh
move
boy,
into PvC3. What would we like to see?
fumble!
What?
What a fumble! That's what I said. Jesus, they
Yeah.
literally like they didn't just like bro. They didn't fumble the ball. They chucked the ball into a wood chipper and like lit the wood chipper on fire. Like it was like what like that like how little do you understand your player base for like Jesus? Like you took away everything like that players loved about the original and like even the second game. The second game added just added more to the first game. They didn't change too much about the formula from PvZ, and they just threw away the formula and like they just like made us some new one that like is just not good at all. There's like very little good at. The only good thing I could say is the art style is all right compared to the OG art style from the OG beta. It is like it's like I don't know. It's just art. It's amazing. I guess that's all I can say.
I
It's
mean,
not
for
saying much.
for the most part, I don't care so much about the art style. Like, I'm willing for them to try new things with the art style. It's execution that matters. Same thing with the BFN, right? Art style is fine. I could deal with it. It just they fumbled the ball, including PVZ. I think the second beta with like the when that returned to the basic mechanic, that returned to mostly the basic mechanics. I think the second beta looked pretty much kind of better in a way. Like it's they
That's
still.
what, that's what I was saying. Like the art style is better. It's like 2.5D. Like it looks
Yeah.
2D, but you tell it's still 3D. Like it looks much better. Because like the 3D models for the OG beta, just like they did not look good at all. Like it looks so bad. Like
Mm.
I mean, I know it's a beta, so like they obviously would still had to polish it, but it's just like in the state it was in, it did not look great. But, yeah, that's the only good thing I could say about PvZ 3 is just the art style is like pretty good, and that's about it.
Do you like how they changed the sun system?
No, well, I guess it's not as bad
I mean, I
because at least
mean, I mean the sun
ugh,
system in terms of like making it one sun and then two sun, not like the 25 or the 50. You know what I mean?
no, I hate it. I think it's kind of dumb. Like, why would you change that? It just because like that's what people. Some people gave. That's why some people gave heavy criticism to the OG beta because like, and the OG beta, Sunflower just didn't exist. Like you
Yeah.
couldn't play some, which was I thought was stupid considering Sunflower is like such an iconic plant. Besides like obviously pea shooter.
Touching on that, wait,
Like,
hold on. What if they kept that system, but they made sunflower a plant that you can play down, which would increase the speed at which you would gain sun? What about that idea?
I mean, that's a little better. I guess that's a little creative. Like, I still would prefer the old one, but
Yeah.
yeah, I would. I guess.
But I think that'll be pretty interesting, right? Like, it starts off really slow, and then you play sunflowers, think a little bit faster. And you feel like the whole lawn with sunflowers, and then like it's just instant sun, like 20%. That'd be funny. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I see. Yeah, it was not a smart move on their part for doing that.
Oh, and people gave criticism because like for the old system and like the OG beta, like people just like said it was like Clash Royale because like which is true because like the energy system was the exact same. Like you start off at zero, like because in Clash Royale you have elixir, so you would start off at zero elixir and then like you would just wait for the bar to go up because you would occasionally you would just like over time get more. And then as soon as you get more, you can put troops down. That's literally how it was. They worked the exact same way in the OG beta, which I even pointed that out. It was
Yeah.
kind of
But and then yeah, in the second beta, right? I do think that it was really dumb how they changed the sun system to like 1 2 3, like to 1 2 3s, right? Which threw the balance like out of whack. Um, because I know the sunflower was a one sun, which is okay. Like that to me that's the equivalent of like a sunflower costing 50 and then producing 50 sun. That seems fine. But then they made the pea shooter cost 3 sun, which would be the equivalent of what is it like 120? No, 150
like
sun.
so they made him cost 50 more than he originally would in like the first two games.
Yeah, and he's like really mid, right?
Yeah,
And they made
at least
one.
make him cost Tucson and Tucson seems more like that's like Tucson would like seem better than I don't know.
Yeah, it really it threw the balance out of whack. Like the bong choi as well. Like it was a 4 sun, the equivalent of what 200. Like made everything cost like a slightly more. So you need just that much more sunflowers to make everything which is worth. And
Uh,
still, the game was mid.
this game PvZ here pisses me off because like it just shows they don't know anything about like fans or anything because like there's like especially like I'm gonna go back to the old beta here because like the old beta God it was so terrible like the level system because like people there is already some people who like didn't like the leveling system in PvZ 2 which sure it is kind of stupid but like at the end of the day like it's not necessary you could beat the whole game without with level 1 plants it doesn't matter technically it does make it more fun because like the leveling up plants kind of makes them OP which I think is kind of fun for a while but like and the PvZ 3 is it was like the old beta. It was mandatory that you level up your plants. If you didn't, you just can't beat like certain levels, which I
Yeah,
thought was stupid. Like I don't. It just pisses me off, dude. Like they made such dumb decisions.
I know it was. I think it's also on part of PopCap or like EA or whatever, trying to make the game more like Clash Royale ish. Because Clash Royale is huge, right? Like it's such a huge game. I think they wanted they thought they could turn PvZ into like Clash Royale, but doing so really just pissed off the fan base. Like the leveling system already in PvZ 2 is like just not it doesn't sit well because it makes plants too OP, like makes levels in the base game already too easy. All right, and then in PvZ 3, I didn't get to play the first PvZ 3 beta because I didn't have a freaking Android, which is the lamest thing ever. And the only time it was on iPhone, it was like in Germany or something, which is lame. I really did hate that. But oh, you want to know something? I tried to get PvZ 3 like because it was like landlocked to certain areas, like on iPhone. So I tried to switch like my location to like one of those areas, but it wouldn't let me because I had like 2 cents in my account. So then I contacted Apple support to like, hey, I want these 2 cents removed from my account so I can transfer like my account. Then they removed the cents. I transferred my account to an account in one of the locations. I forget which, and I still couldn't get PvZ 3. I was like, oh my gosh, that was the lamest thing. I was second biggest disappointment of my life. The first one was finding out that PvZ 3 was only available for Android, but yeah, that's yeah. But yeah, that's one story. But yeah, PvZ 3 fumbled the bag. I also don't like. I mean, do you have anything else? Any more gripes in terms of the first PvZ 3 beta?
The first beta, yes. the leveling system was garbage. It was literally just like random levels, like they were all basically the same. I don't really. It was a little while ago, but I don't think there was like anything different. It was just like the same rehashed levels with like just and like the stupid leveling system. Like it was just so dumb. Oh, the freaking. I think yeah, I think the first one also used energy. I think there was an energy system for the first one.
I don't
Oh no,
remember there being an energy system.
I think it was that or lives.
There might have been lives.
Because isn't the second beta also introduce lives? Because if it does, like
Yeah,
why?
yeah, it's a live system. It's so lame. Like
It just oh my god, dude, it's
I
so
if they keep the live system, I'm gonna genuinely boycott the game. I would not play that game if there's a live system. Like
that's
that.
just completely that just guts any like anything hard about the. It just makes it like any difficulty is just gutted with like a life system in like a game like Treasure Life. Like, what's the point?
Yeah. Like
It's so
I should have would not play the game. Like I hate games with live systems because it's like come on, dude. I want to play your game. Don't make me stop playing the game. And it's only for monetary reasons. Like you have to
there's
then
a
you
lot of
huh?
in that game. No, there's a lot of signs of serious stuff like that. Like with all the stupid power ups they like for in the PvZ 3 second beta or like that
Yeah.
they released. Like I know I didn't play much of the second beta. I know there is like the stupid like what is it the grape shot or whatever.
Yeah, it's the grape shot. It's like a like the more you kill zombies or like the over time like a little meter will fill up. And then like the grapes of wrath from PvZ heroes would show up and like throw exploding grapes, electric currents onto the field, like at random, like randomly, like no, like without even your permission, like or like I think you would have to like activate or something like that. I don't know. I think it was just a dumb mechanic. I don't know why they keep doing that, but it's what's the purpose here? They
Wait,
also,
oh, actually,
huh?
hold on. I want to ask you something. What were your thoughts on them replacing, only giving you the single lawnmower?
So it was. I don't entirely care in terms of like I don't know, like mechanic wise, like okay, give me like one lawnmower. Wasn't it like also like watch an ad to like gain it back or something? Like what? I don't know.
Uh, I wouldn't be surprised.
I
Like
just
I am fine with it because I think that adds a little more difficulty since you get the one lawnmower. I think that's a little like that's cool. I guess that's all I really gotta say. Just cool. I guess a little more difficulty. That's about it.
I
I
think
don't really mind it.
yeah, it is a little more difficulty, but I don't see it. I don't see them making this choice for the sake of difficulty. I think it's for more for the sake of like monetary restrictions again. Like oh, pay for one more lawnmower or watch an ad for another lawnmower. That's the only reason I can see them doing this. I don't think they're doing this for like, oh, let's make it more difficult. Only get one lawnmower. Like, I think I'd rather just have no lawnmowers. You know what I mean? I think that kind of difficulty will be much better. But like, I think it's either all or none. In just this one scenario, I think all or none is best. I just don't care much for like the one lawnmower system. I don't know. It's like a non-factor to me, right? It's just there. It's like the one thing that they didn't need to change. Like they I wish they just didn't put like effort into such a like a minor thing. You know what I mean? Like I wish they just I don't know. I'm also annoyed at the power system. Other than the not the grapes not the grape shot, but the other ones, the jalapeno, the cherry bomb, the chili
Oh,
pepper.
yeah, that's really fair.
Though I don't like them being power ups. Like that kind of defeats the purpose of them existing in the first place. Because they were in the first game, there were also plants that you needed to have. You know, in the second game, power ups replace cherry bomb and jalapeno because it doesn't matter, right? Like you can wait and spend your sun on a bomb that does very limited stuff, or spend coins and then destroy every zombie on the field. It's like what's the point of the instant use plants like anymore? Like make it a plant that costs 3 suns, so you have to like think about using it. But no, again, they changed it up to make it more monetary than it is, gameplay wise. Because again, you buy power ups. You can't like buy like an extra sunflower. I mean, you probably can, but it's like okay, dude. Like what's? It's just annoying. Like these. they didn't have power ups in the first game for a reason, and these they should have been like individual plants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh god, dude.
yeah. I
Oh,
think
but I thought, oh, yeah, one.
I did like them. I did like um the how they played with the lawn a bit more in this game than the second beta, where it's like you had like a lane of water and like it would move the zombies down the path. That was kind of interesting, right? Like they're playing a bit more like it, because in the first game it was just like, oh, it's all just an empty lawn, and then like, oh, it's all nighttime now. Oh, you're in the backyard, there's a pool of water in the middle, and it just stays a pool of water for the entire thing. In PvZ 2, they barely did anything else. Like it was like, oh, there's a gravestone on your lawn. Ooh, you gotta break it. Oh, it's nighttime, but that doesn't change much except for like no sun falls, and there's gravestone still. Oh, there's water for one world, like like 20% of the game, like not even less actually, like 10% of the game. Oh, there's
Yeah, but
water.
there were still more gimmicks. Like Neo Mixtape was like the different music for different zombie types. Frostbite Caves was the your plants can get frozen. There's like the different tiles that can move zombies into different lanes. Uh,
Yeah, I just
Pirate Seas has the zombies could swing in from certain things.
yeah.
Uh,
There was a decent amount of gimmicks for the second game to feel interesting. I just think there's so much more that can be done with the lawn that they're not doing. Remember the when the leaks that when the PvZ concept art leaks happened, and then like the lawn was like so much bigger or like so much different. Like that got me excited. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh dang, they're like this is really cool. Like I want to play like on this kind of lawn. Remember those
and
leaks, Ryan?
I remember the leaks for like the designs. I don't know what the long, but I remember like the design, like the actual design, like for the leaks. And I thought they looked really good.
Yeah,
And like,
but I don't know. I think just empty lawn like with water, like it's not too appealing. I would like, oh, and it's like a lawn, but like a tree had fallen onto one side and zombies are crawling over it and you can't shoot through it. You know, like it's not, like just random gimmicks that like spruce up like some certain levels. You know what I mean? That would be kind of
it's actually,
cool.
it's actually not a bad gimmick. The tree could be used as cover for the zombies, so like you can't damage them in that lane until they fall over. Not a
Yeah.
bad gimmick.
Then, like the ladder zombie could like help them climb. Ooh, that'd be cool. They just trip and fall over the log. Or like there'll be gravel on the on like certain tiles. So, like you have to use like a potted plant to like, plant on the
But that could
tiles.
be like if the zombie once the zombie crawls over it, like they just start crawling. Like they fall over like from the log after they crawl over, so they just like start like they crawl. So like any like thing shooting like straight at them won't like hit them since they're on the ground. So you would need like a special plant
Ooh,
and maybe like
crawling zombies. That'd be cool. But yeah.
like that like so a lot of stuff you could do with that.
Yeah, that would be interesting. But yeah. So I want to talk about like what would so let's talk about like what would you want to see maybe in the third game? Because I made like a whole thing about like what I would like PvZ 3 to be about. You know what I mean? Right? Do you have like any ideas for the game? Like any at all?
Uh, story wise, I feel like story wise maybe connected to the comics or like Garden Warfare. Like you could you could play off that like how like maybe I guess like the story being like how the zombies actually won or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like the comics would be good. Like if I don't know if they would do that, but I feel like the comics would be a really good way to go for like story. I feel like that'd be cool. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I've read a few of the comics. I have a few. I think I have like two comics actually. But yeah, so I made like a whole thing. Like remember I made a whole script about this about PvZ 3, but I didn't I chose to do this instead. So I have a whole list of ideas that I want to express and see you get your opinion on. Cuz again, I kind of wanted to be a game developer for a while, but I don't have the skills or like the ability to get into that kind of field, so I just kind of have like ideas that I have like that I just write down like I like or like drug concept art of, but I can't actually put these into fruition. But I want to get your take on my ideas. So, in terms of story for PvZ 3, I thought, okay, so it's gonna take place after PvZ 2, obviously. Crazy Dave had just had his taco, and he's happy and he's content, and he decides, hey, I'm gonna retire. And so he gives you the keys to Penny and dips, right? And he reopens a Twitty Dinkies, right? His little drug empire.
Okay.
Where he sells candy to kids in the back of his van. No, I'm kidding. But hey kids, you want some seeds? I'm kidding. But yeah, he retires it, but he reopens Twitty Dinkies, right? But after screwing with time so much, modern day has become an apocalypse. It is now zombies have won and taken over the world. It is up to you, the player, to go around the world and cleanse the world of zombies, right? So that's like the general story of PvZ 3, and then it would be like you go to like major places in the world, like that would give you unique lawns and stuff like that. Like Hollywood Hills would be like like there's like a hill, like the lawn isn't level. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be interesting. Like it'll play with like different levels of lawns. Like you have to use lobber plants mostly or something like that. Like you know what I mean? And then like you would go to New York and it'd be like skyscrapers, and you have to like shoot like between them, or like you know what I mean, Brian?
A little bit. I can see a little bit. I mean that concept in general already like that. That sounds like pretty interesting. From
Yes.
that.
Like, but then there's more, right? So that's not it. The main gimmick of this game, there are three main gimmicks or two. Well, I'll just explain them. And you'll consider them how you consider them. So the zombies they'd be generally the same, just like unique zombies for each little section of the world. Like the basic, there's the basic, the conehead, the buckethead, like the unique zombies that pertain to each of the worlds. But there would be mini bosses in these sections of the game. These mini bosses would not be new zombies. They would be returning zombies from PvZ heroes in Garden Warfare. Like it would be like occasionally like a foot soldier would walk onto the field and like shoot your plants a little bit, like if you get to like a certain level of health, he'll like do a ZPG and like shoot like the plant furthest to the right and like instantly kill it and do some damage to the other guys. Then like maybe he'll throw like a smoke bomb and then like blind some of your plants so they can't shoot. Like that'll be interesting. Like you just imagine like have a little dude like just walking around the field, screwing with your plants. And it would be not just foot soldier, it would be super brains. Imagine just super brains walks into the field like and just punching people. That'll be funny. And that'll be cool and fun to fight. You're fighting super brains. Like you try to plant a cherry bomb on him and he just jumps out of the way or just kicks forward. Like that'll be fun. I think that'll be interesting. And it'd be like there's like a couple mini bosses for each of the worlds. And they would all be just like zombies from different games. Right? It'd be the foot soldier, the scientist, engineer, all star. Like all star will be like will be new. Like he wouldn't be like the one that's in PvZ 2 or PvZ 1. Like he'll be like like with a freaking minigun. You know what I mean? And then like Deadbeard would snipe plants. And then what is it? I forget. Super Brains would punch at plants, and Super Ball holds. I mean the I meant the blast that he does. The what is it called? The Ultra Ball thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does that, and then like he kicks in whirlwinds and all that stuff. The amp would summon a mech. I know the mechs are already in PvZ 2, but like it would be like they would have all their abilities that they would have from the Garden Warfare games. They would just fight back a little bit. Like those will be like the only zombies that like fight back, like that would truly fight back in terms of these battles. Like and then like they showed up every other few levels. You know what I mean? And then so that's like one gimmick, right? Like having to fight like through all these mini bosses, even like and even also the PvZ heroes characters as well. Like imagine like fighting Professor Brainstorm and he's just like summoning zombies from across the entire game, like just placing them all down on the field. Like he because he conjures stuff and he draws cards, right? So he would like conjure zombies like of random worlds, like bring them to here. Like that'll be cool. I think that'll be like neato. So that's the zombie gimmick, right? And I have my second gimmick would be to bring back variants. How would we bring back variants? Well, we've had a lot of variants in the PvZ games, right? We have pea shooter, ice pea shooter, fire pea shooter, and Gatling pea. We have plants that have variants of each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's make that like a main feature. That's what I'm thinking. So how would this work? So plants that have variants those variants would not be unlocked in like the worlds, right? So once you unlock a pea shooter, that's like the only kind of plant that you would get of that kind. Like you would not unlock an ice pea shooter later on, or a fire pea shooter. You unlock a repeater, but he's like a separate kind of thing. So what's with the variants? How do you unlock variants? I'm thinking you bring back the Zen Garden, but the Zen Garden is not just for boosting plants. Oh yeah, in my idea of PvZ3, the plant food does not no longer exists, as well as power ups. So that's like one thing. Yeah. What do you think of that? What do you think of that though? Like plant food no longer being a thing.
I mean, I feel like that's a little lame because like I do like plant food. Plant food kind of is powerful, but like I did like it since it like every plant plant food or every plant had like a different plant food effect, which I thought was a little interesting. The power ups, I'm fine with that because those were stupid.
I do agree with you on the plant food thing. I would want it to return, but I think for me, it's all about the plants, right? And what plant food does in PvZ2, it kind of just makes most explosive plants like obsolete. Cause like, oh, waste room on an explosive, an explosive plant, or just have a plant food ready to use whenever, right? And like, oh, zombies getting too close, oh, just place a pea shooter down, plant food it, GG's, right? What's the point of a jalapeno or a cherry bomb? Like, no, but my purpose is to, like, the player has to like use these cards in the first place. The plant food just kind of makes them obsolete. Is my thinking, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can get with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this like the deletion of plant food would be just to encourage people to use like the explosive plants a bit more instead of them having just be an option in terms of just like, oh, I don't need it anymore. Because the plant food is like an answer to everything in PvZ too. Like, oh, there's a Garg on the field, oh, plant food, right? You don't need to worry about using a bomb or something. Bombs are just, you don't need one because you got two plant food, GG's, right? But you know, in PvZ1, like Gargs were like a big thing in PvZ1, right? And if you let them go too far, then like you just like GG's, right? What can you do? Like you're one jalapeno, you're one squash, you're one cherry bomb. They're not gonna help you. Like once you're overrun with Gargs and like they're all throwing imps and stuff. In PvZ2, it's like, yeah, no, power up plus plant food equals GG. There's a whole conversation about Gargs in PvZ2 that I've kind of dug into. So getting rid of the plant food would be a great way to make Gargs just a bit more difficult. But yeah, so let's go back to the variants in PvZ 3. How do you unlock these? My idea for unlocking variants, the ice pea shooter, fire pea shooter, and stuff like that, would be in the Zen Garden. How would you do that? You unlock you it's the basic gameplay of Zen Garden, right? You plant a pot and like the little seed will grow. And what it would be is like that seed has a random chance, or not a random chance, like has a chance to grow into a new plant. And once you grow that new plant into full maturity, you would finally unlock that plant to use in your games. So like, say if you have like a fully grown pea shooter already in your Zen Garden, if you plant a seed next to it in the Zen Garden, that plant has a higher chance of growing into a pea shooter or a pea shooter variant. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Uh, yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so
Like, so, how about like a fusing system, kind of like that, where like if you like another way to get new plants could just be like from like also like obviously Zen Garden, but like if you fuse certain plants together, you can unlock like a special sort of plant or variant. I don't
I do see what you're saying. I did think of this method. I did find it a little tricky to do. I mean, but like obviously none of this is set in stone. So if you want to do a merging system, you can. Like I wouldn't be opposed to it. But yeah, I think merging system would be fine. Um, it would unlock new plants and stuff like that. I'm gonna send you something in a second so you can look at it. But it is my roster for the base plants you would unlock in worlds, plus their variants, which would like be the things that like you unlock in the Zen Garden with the merging system and all that stuff. And so in my I was gonna say merging system. I was gonna in my system of variants, they would be ranked by rarity, which would in my case like determine like how rare they are to unlock in the Zen Garden. But like they would also show like how powerful they are in terms of like order in the order you would unlock them. So it'd be basic, which would be the base plant, Like you unlock the P shooter in the world, and then everything above that would be the other rarities. So there's basic, common, uncommon, rare, super rare, legendary, and mythical. And so that's a lot of things. And you may be thinking, that's a lot of stuff. Why so much stuff? Well, for one, mythical is kind of a unique section because plants in the mythical section cannot be played twice. So my idea would be like you play it once, and the seed packet itself would transform into the base version. So I'll spoil it a little bit here. So the mythical variation for P shooter would be Green Shadow, right? So you play Green Shadow, and then her seed pack would turn into just a P shooter. Like that would be like the idea. You get what I'm saying, Brian?
A little bit.
Okay, so I'm gonna send you a link. I'll cut this out a little bit, but I'm gonna send you a link. I want you to open it, and then it's not a virus, I promise. But this is going to be the Google Doc. Just look at the first part. In terms of like what it is.
All right.
This is all the plants that I plan to return. Slash, some of them are new plants that we may have to like brainstorm like the idea. But these are plants that are returning to in my version of PvZ3. They come from the first game, second game, plus PvZ Heroes and Garden Warfare. And this is because I'm adding the zombies from Garden Warfare. Why not add the plants from Garden Warfare as well as plants from PvZ Heroes? I think my idea for PvZ3, it mainly focuses on celebrating everything PvZ. It mainly focuses on everything PvZ, right? So why not have everything as much as you can from PvZ in this game? Oh, this also includes plants from the betas as well. The PvZ3 betas. Some of them actually, not all of them, but yeah. Okay, so up to like row 35 is where all the plants are what I think should return.
Row 30, you said?
Row 35. But you'll see. It's gonna say count 105. Like that's like where you should just stop scrolling. You see you see what it is?
Row 30. So where it says Sunroom?
No, I mean row 36.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, see the plants all the way on the left are gonna be like the world plants that you unlock like during the game. So I want to go over a few things that are noteworthy to me. So in the P shooter super rare would be a sky shooter from PvZ Heroes. You know that, you remember that one, Brian?
Yeah.
So sky shooter, why am I bringing sky shooter into PvZ3, right? Well, my idea, another concept that I have is also to play a bit more with the lawns. And some lawns, there's not gonna be a lawn. There's just gonna be like an abyss maybe, or like a place where you can't plant. And the sky shooter, my idea would be to just have like a flying plant. You just plant it in the air, because it's a sky shooter. Like the little thing that spins. It's like a little fan that spins. Like it flies. I think that'd be cool. Like the sky shooter would be my answer to a lawn that would require you to play plants in the air. I also brought back the pot. For tiles that aren't made of soil, right? For plants to be played on them. Like just in case you have like a rocky environment and you can't play plants on rocks. So you can't play plants on rocks, but it's like a pot would be better. Lily pad return, so there's still gonna be water levels, right? I do have some party characters. Actually, I have Party Citron, and I think I have one more party character somewhere. I am not sure. Well, yeah, I think there is. It is where is he? 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 What the frick? Oh wait, I think. Oh yeah, I brought back Party Citron and Disco Chomper, both legendary characters from the Garden Warfare series, and I think they would ideally just have like the same mechanics that they do in their game, where it's just like after a certain amount of kills, like they would just like go into like an overdrive mode. I think that'd be pretty interesting. Like you won't be able to see like there won't be like a meter or anything, but like there might be like an indication of like, oh, this guy's near party time or this guy's near disco time. I think that'll be pretty interesting, to have them in the field. what's it called? Did you see anything of noteworthy stuff in there, Brian?
How would how would what would a how would pumpkin work in this?
Pumpkin. Okay, so pumpkin ideally. Let me see. I have a note for that guy. Let me find it real quick. Pumpkin. Okay. So I imagine him being functioning similar to how we would in PvZ Heroes, where it's like cheap, does a lot of damage, but kind of weak as well. So I made him 25 Sun. He has a 3x3 like effect range. Like he would just do high damage to any zombies near him, but he would have actually just like low health. So like he would attack kind of slow. So like he would like do like a pulse or something like that. You know, like a Kiwi Beast kind of situation. But like
Okay.
slower attack speed, 3x3 ADS, high damage, like putting a basic zombie to like a very low percentage. But like if that basic zombie were to like bite him once, then he would die. Like that's how I think he would work in terms of that thing. But like he would be powerful, 25 for that kind of damage, not bad. But
Hmm.
yeah. Let's see here. So I did put a lot of the mythicals, where the mythicals were a lot of them are heroes from the PvZ hero game. I do want to talk about how some of them will work because they'd be kind of confusing. So yeah, you uh play one mythical, per game. I mean, actually no, you can play multiple mythicals and it's not the same, not two of the same kind. So you can't have two green shadows or anything, right? So green shadow, I just imagine her having, I just imagine her shooting just very powerful P's like down her lane, which is like what her ultimate is in the game in the PvZ heroes. Solar flare might launch fireballs at zombies that and also produce sun. Pretty basic, but also pretty powerful. Like these guys are gonna cost like hundreds of sun and like be very game changing, right? But yeah, I did bring back a lot of the dinosaur dudes from PvZ Heroes. I think I brought back all of them actually, and they would function in some of them would function like they did in the PvZ Heroes. Like Bananasaurus, I envision having, I envision them having a like a dino war ability where it's like every time they kill a zombie, I don't know, like they puke up banana guts and like they shoot it at the first zombie or something. I don't know. I think that's just some of like the ideas that I had for plants returning.
Hmm.
But yeah, um, and for the most part, that's like all I have in terms of PvZ 3. Um, yeah,
Well, I'll tell you what. All that in general already sounds better than what we have currently. Sounds 100% more interesting than what that game is.
thank you. Yeah, I really, man, if there's one thing I would want to do in this world is just make one PvZ game. Like I would die happy. Like if PopCap hired me right now on the spot and just said, "Hey, make PvZ 3 for us," like I'd do that first, and then I would die happy, like immediately, like upon release. Like that's the dream right there.
I'd be more confident because like you already have a lot of you've had a lot of ideas for like so long.
Yep. Uh, and I just really like to see this like happen though. It's crazy though, because the count of 105 plants that I have ideally, um, that's a little over double the amount of plants in the first game, but it's like a little under like a little over half of the plants in PvC 2. So I think this is a good middle ground for I think it's a good middle ground for what a PvC 3 may look like. I think it'd be pretty fun, you know. And there's a lot more plants that could be possible in terms of this kind of thing. So yeah, my PopCap, yeah, please let me make PvZ 3. That'd be great.
But if I am being real though, I do believe PvC 3 might be the end of the franchise though, because PvZ 3 has been like obviously not well received, and like we have gotten like zero updates on like the future of PvZ 3, and like no new betas or anything. So
I
that's
think
kind of
I think you're probably right, but here's what my intuition is telling me. I think they're taking a step back to rethink their values right now, and they're really right now since we haven't gotten anything. I feel like they're really considering what's going on. in the PvZ world, because I think they're gonna be like, okay, do we want to do what we want in this game, or do we want to do what the fans want? And it's a commitment they're gonna have to make at some point. But it means going all in on one side or all in on the other side. I feel like there might be a lot of contention within the workplace over there, like people fighting for one side, people fighting for the other. Um, I think they pretty much know that if this game flops, then it's the end of PvZ 3. But I don't think EA wants that to be the case. They want this game to be profitable, but they are too scared to like do anything like do what they have been doing for some reason, right? Because it's already been successful. So I think they're in the case that we are gonna get a new release of PvZ 3, they're gonna do their best to make it good, or at least make it like something worthwhile. Or if we don't, if that opposite of that, we get nothing and the game's just dead. But I highly doubt that the game is dead right now. I think we need an official like we're gonna get like an official like or no, not official, but like an unofficial like tweet from like one of the devs, be like, hey, yeah, PvZ 3 has been shelved for like the next few years, so there's no telling what could happen. But until we get that, I think it's up in the air in terms of what's gonna happen.
I just hope that I hope you are right about that. That they are just like taking a look at the game and like looking at like really looking at feedback from fans because it would be a real shame after everything just for the, the franchise just to die off of PvZ 3.
Yeah,
That'd be really depressing, but yeah, I do hope that they are just looking, like just evaluating, evaluating all their feedback they've gotten. Because
yeah,
God that knows they need to after that last beta. But no, I have a little hope, but I don't know.
yeah.
Holding out.
I hope that's the case. But yeah, that is pretty much it for all the games that we have to talk about. Uh, anything you want to add, Brian?
Please do better, EA or PopCap. I love you. I love your franchise. I love PvZ. It means a lot to me. My second most favorite franchise or video game franchise besides Kingdom Hearts. So I please do better. Please listen to like just please take your time and look at the feedback that the fans have given you, so you can make the best possible game. And that's about it.
Yeah,
Do better.
agreed. Except for the Kingdom Hearts part. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Say bye YouTube. Bye YouTube.
Bye.
Subscribe and like, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.
Later.
Very cool. Okay, bye. Are you ready, Brian? Are you focused your mind and soul and body?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What is that?
That
Are you,
was
are you still playing Overwatch?
no.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
What?
could you hear it?
No, it says you're playing Overwatch on Discord.